Happy Saturday, everybody. This is Mr. Panda at the Manly Battleships channel, and this is the Rome 2 Total War Roman Britain playthrough. When we left off last time, we had finally gotten a foothold here at Isca up in Britain. Meanwhile, the homeland, so to speak, is falling into ruin, and we don't really care about that. Now that we have our foothold in southern Britannia, it's time to bring the new culture of Bog Ball to the surrounding cities. We're going to go and challenge their best players and establish who is the dominant team in our new homeland of Britain. Now, we were basically done with our turn when we signed off last time, and right now our teams need a chance to recover, you know, with booze and supplements and good Roman bread. So, we're going to let them hang out for a little bit, and we got our eyes set on what our next target is going to be. The big fish in the pond is, of course, Camelidonan. Now, they look like they got their stuff together. Like, their team looks pretty solid. But the minor leagues over here in Moridunan don't look as solid, but they have a lot of them. So lots of extra players to rotate in, if you know what I mean. So for now, we're going to hang tight. We're going to build up a little bit of the home team economy back here in Isca, get some good food production and money set up so that we can actually support the team on the away games, and we're going to just let everyone heal up. Now it looks like we're getting a little bit of attrition in the backwoods of our homeland. Ever since Rome fell, the whole place has just fallen to pieces. And unfortunately, they're just going to have to deal with that because I have more important things to focus on. A couple factions have been destroyed and a couple places are going to war that we don't care about. They will have to fend for themselves. We have more pressing concerns. What we'll do to kind of speed things up here is the consciential coasters will assume a defensive stance, or fortify if you will. That'll allow them to rest up a little bit faster, get their health back up to full strength in order to be ready for game day. And honestly, other than that, all we're really going to do is start moving our scout around, looking for new and exciting fields to take Bog Ball. Honestly, that's going to be our modus operandi for at least another turn or two. Now, of course, right in the middle of the turn rotation, Syracuse suddenly wants to talk to us, and keep in mind, we don't care about the Mediterranean for at least the foreseeable future. So, honestly, no. You want something from me, I'm not going to give you that. But we'll give you a counteroffer. Let's just see if they want a non-aggression pact. Well, guess we're not getting that. The Etruscans are back on the move. They're going to finish off the lower provinces here. Yeah, we got a couple random announcements to go through. Nothing super important. Oh, though, our new homeland is encouraged. They are excited for the impending rise of our new sport. Now, we do have some general maintenance to take care of, like some technology. Got to decide what's the best path for this lone kingdom up here for the time being. Now, because we're going to be located away from the original homeland of our civilization, something that's going to be a little bit advantageous is to get something that allows you to train auxiliary units. So we get to draw from the local populace into a Roman-style unit. So, of course, we're going to want the training reforms before any more infrastructure technology gets researched. That'll help us support our mission most effectively. And we're ready for another turn of the wheel. Meanwhile, the Etruscans are doing really well knocking things around in the Mediterranean.
Your wares are as common as salted fish. We no longer see merit in trade with your merchants.
Well, good riddance, Syracuse. Oh no! They're finally going to take us down, everybody. And it looks like the Etruscans are going to rule over Italy.
War! A man's calling is war, not weaklings' gossip. Give me the clash of swords, not wagging tongues.
Well, it seems we did not please these guys at all. Guess walking through the territory kind of ticked them off, so they want to go for it right now. They have challenged us to a game of Bog Ball with the highest stakes possible. And Brundisium's still holding out, but everything else is just not working out. Alright, so right now our teams are getting together. They're starting to finally recover slightly. And for the moment, we still have a surplus, which is good, though I don't know how long that's going to last with Brundisium about to get taken out of the equation. So probably it's for the best if we make sure that our one remaining city still has something to go off of. And it looks like it's going to be in our best interest to get moving as quickly as possible. So that's what we're going to do. Now, of course, first I've got some faction business to deal with. Let's take a look here. I like how I don't even control Rome, but I'm still dealing with problems in the Aventine. Well, let's go ahead and just threaten them a little bit. Oh no, we've got a faltering supply debuff. Oh well. At least the Britannian populace is inspired. And a couple random deaths we don't care about. On to more important business. So since we're waiting for at least one more turn to kind of buff up everyone and get them ready, it's probably best that we get a few extra guys just to kind of bolster things up for the upcoming fight. Now, mercenaries are available, but are very expensive to maintain, so we're going to wait on that for just a little bit. But down here, we got a couple random missile troops that aren't that great, and could use some a little bit of bolstering. So what if we got a little bit of backup?
At your command. Come, fight for Rome.
What we'll do is we'll train up a little bit more for the Conscientia Coasters. That'll take, of course, 2 turns to actually complete. And we'll have a full staff on the Imperial Bog Trotters. And then we'll look to our next away game. So, let's go ahead and head down here, see how things are looking in Camalodunum. So despite appearances, this is not that bad. We might actually be able to go tackle Camalodunum right off the bat. We're going to think about that. And the final reckoning in Brundisium has finally come to pass. Now, of course, none of these guys are our A-list players here, so unfortunately, they're not going to make it work. But we'll certainly bruise them up before we leave. Well, at least it was a close defeat. Now, it says close defeat, but of course I'm looking at the lopsided casualty list here. I don't know how I feel about that at all. Now, of course, that was technically our capital, so that's now moved permanently to Iska. But we did get our technology upgrade, a couple other random reports that I don't need to look at because that's not important to me. Something that might come up pretty soon, though, is we might need some siege technology. There are walls about in Britain. So we're going to head up the military tree and see if we can get that done. And we still got another turn before all our new players are going to be up and running. But in the meantime, since these guys are basically almost ready to go, we're just going to head out of the city and get in position to go in next turn. What really has to happen here, though, is we need to decide whether we're going to Camalodunum, what will one day be jolly old London, or Moradunan, over here in Wales. Actually, I got some great Welsh jokes hidden away just for this occasion. So, what do you call a Welsh farmer with 2 sheep? Die. What do you call a Welsh farmer with 5 sheep? Pimp. Eh? Well, I'll have to decide till next turn anyway.
Will you not give our people a little gold? You have much, and our people do not wish to become the slaves of envy.
So one of my potential opponents in the upcoming away game, the Demete, over in what will be Wales one day, want to get a non-aggression pact. Now, of course, they want me to pay for it, which isn't going to happen either way. But notice the traits here. We got expansionist and unreliable. So they're not going to be able to uphold their bargain anyway. What's interesting is that they are also fighting against the Iceni at the moment, which means that if I were to go for the Iceni right now, they probably don't have anyone to help them. So that settles it. Let's just reject it altogether. Uh-oh, potential for civil war in 3 turns. We gotta get this done. Our training is finally done, and it's time. It is time, at last, to make the call. And I think after that last peace negotiation that didn't really work out, we have our answer. We are going to plunge straight in and go for Camalodunum.
Ready for orders. Make haste, men.
Oh yes, yes we are trespassing.
Your command. On the move.
We could potentially do some acts of subterfuge here, but most of the time, in my experience, they're not worth it. And it doesn't really look like that would be any use. So we're going to skip that, scoot off to one side, and get ready for the showdown. Of course, nothing really important here in the edicts. Instead, we're looking at finally having this massive showdown. Now, I could get some mercenaries here to kind of bolster things at the last minute. You know, pick up some temporary high-end players to kind of help things out. And you know what? Got a little bit of money saved up just for this occasion. So, you know what? Sure. Let's bring in some heavy infantry here and see if that will help us out. It's time to play Bog Ball.
Fall back! You have further orders?
Seems I miscalculated slightly. With all that support, they can actually hold on to it. So we've done a feigned retreat to pull them out of their city and to attack us. And we'll wait to see what they do this time. Oh, the clever buggers. They're going straight for my home territory instead. I don't know about a restless spirit in the household, but we did get one. And we got our boiling oil on top of it, so we can finally start working on that. Oh, where'd you guys come from? Oh, we don't care about you. We do have to kind of worry about this Iceni team that's just down here and undoubtedly about to take up our settlement. So first things first, since they're gone, we might as well just move right in.
Then cower before Rome! We hunger for battle. On the move! To battle!
Oh, actually, it seems like right now we could just get this over with. So why not? So, in the first major away game of the new Bog Ball League, we got both of our teams lined up, and we are going to go up against Camalodunum. And what a decisive victory that was. Now, first thing that we're going to have to do is to use our nice little treasury reserve to actually convert everything over to buildings we can use. Convert that over to a harbor, get some money flowing, and convert this over to a civil colonia so that we can start working on making it a future center of the new Bog Ball League. Now, we don't have the technology to actually build the Roman equivalent on top of this thing. So since it's kind of useless to us at the moment, we're just going to go ahead and demolish that. Helpfully, since this guy still has some movement to him, we're going to go ahead and head back down towards Iska in order to make sure that maybe he's distracted enough to actually come back towards us, not leave his now captured capital in our hands. Hopefully these guys will decide that they don't want any of this and head out too. Now, whenever one of your generals gets an upped rank from combat or whatever the other procedure takes place, they get some trait boosts, as we've already seen. So we're just going to take a look at the traits here, see what's going on. Skills. Okay. Cunning and gravitas, we don't care about that. We're going to go with general stuff, help them out in the land battles. The team of the Swords of Power is, of course, facing some major attrition. That's what that little skull up there means. They got no support whatsoever.
It is a great and glorious thing to die.
And actually, since we moved all the way, we can actually still recruit in this army, which we're going to do. We're going to give them a little bit more bolstered force because we got these mercenaries hanging out here that are going to be a drain on our resources, even though we do have a nice little surplus right now. So we want to get rid of them as soon as possible. But we still got this enemy team to deal with before then. Oh, and they came straight for us. And all we have here is the Scoodly Poopers, the support team, in defense. Well, that's not very sportsmanlike of these guys. We're just going to have to resolve it as best we can. And, looks like we're just going to have to play with the most aggressive stance possible and hope that we do a lot of damage to them. And the second major match of the new Bog Ball League results in a decisive defeat. Second string team in Iska. And then they turn right around and fight us. All right, that's exactly what we want. Now we're going to have to play this one by ear. Play aggressively and hope for the best. And it was a good fight, but our team was the victor. Of course, now we have these guys to deal with.
Retreat, men! Retreat!
Oh, we get the chance to pick some martial priorities to kind of give us a little bit of a buff. And at this point, I think infantry is definitely where it's at for us. Ah, yes, the death of our Scoodly Pooper Admiral. Couldn't be avoided, unfortunately. But we did have a decisive victory over the Iceni.
Ready for orders.
There's only one thing to do now. We have to dispatch the Imperial Bog Trotters,
I'm afraid we cannot.
our first front team, and to actually take care of this problem.
Commander,
Iska has decided they don't want to be in the league anymore. Well, we cannot have that. In the meantime, we have to decide how we're going to proceed in Camalodunum. So we already got two things underway. We need to decide what else needs to go in here. Almost certainly some kind of military structure. So go with a field of Mars. And because this is going to basically be the nexus of our new Bog Ball culture, we want to kind of get some Latin cultural influence going in there. So we're going to build a consecrated ground on the way to building a temple. These are foreign parts for us. Now, I think we can safely disband our fine mercenary friends because they're not going to be of any particular use to us at this point, and just costing money. Don't have any recruitment options, so
we hunger for
we're just going to have to hope for the best while we wait for this resolution. Oh, we have a new faction event. Tribune's Daughter. Well, we kind of need all the political favors we can get, so unfortunately I'm just going to have to refuse to hire her. Sorry. For the moment, sexism is alive and well, it would seem. Oh boy, we got some desertions. Cowards! We got a food shortage problem going on here at the moment. Best if we go ahead and retake the honor of Iska, who were defeated in their home game.
We take this settlement for Rome!
Yeah, that's what I thought. Not so hot now, are ya? Bog Ball! Now, happily, my buildings are still in place. Didn't lose them just from the takeover. Things are back where they need to be. We got a small surplus, got a good money build-up. Everything is moving forward. We are ready to take all of Britain by storm. If only the Scoodly Poopers could be here to see it. Ah, we're still taking a lot of attrition, too. Even though we finally got our construction done. Oh, we got some faction stuff to deal with. Yeah, we'll see if we can reach a compromise on that one. Oh no, I can't yet build the upgraded version of the grain silos because I don't have the tech. Oh, that was lack of foresight on my part. We don't really want to up the negative food rating at this point, so we gotta look for something else we can do to kind of help things along there. Man, I can't even trade up a building without going into the negative. Alright, what do we got in the temples? When you really want to build the Shrine of Jupiter, but that would probably put you into starvation mode. Guess we're just going to have to hold off on the expansion for the moment. Which is just fine with me, because these guys really need to rest up after that last beating that they took against the Iceni.
At your command.
But as soon as we can let them rest up a little bit, we're going to get back on the trail towards a unified British Bog Ball League. Uh-oh, someone's being blackmailed. What do I do? We'll use some influence and money. Why would I do that? We don't need to gravitas. Oh, looks like we have some sudden interest from the Demete.
Ready for battle.
Yeah, I think that we can take them on if they want to tussle. If they want to have a game here in Iska, that's fine by me. Speaking of which,
Ready for
since
battle.
Consentia is no longer a factor, we're going to have to just go ahead and rename these guys. The Consentia Coasters have been renamed to the Camalodunum Coasters in their glorious new home city.
We hunger for battle.
Oh, and we can actually train up some Hastati now. So, that's what we're going to do. They need a little bit more heavy infantry support. And what are these guys going to do? That's the real question. Oh, they came for us all right. All right, the champions of Albion versus the Imperial Bog Trotters. They are not at their peak performance, but that's okay. I believe in them. So we're going to go ahead and take a very aggressive stance and see what happens. Oh, it was a close fight. The champions of Albion put up a valiant effort, but they could not overcome the forces of the Imperial Bog Trotters. Okay, so we got our siege towers finally, we got a rank increase, got some new recruits on the slab. All is well, all is well. In the meantime, we should probably finally start looking at the economy now that we have this advantage in siegecraft. So we're going to want some more farming to go on, so we're going to have to just start going up that tree.
Ready for orders.
We're going to need a couple turns to help these guys recover from their excellent performance.
Ready for battle.
We might even have to send out the Camalodunum coasters to take care of the other team. In fact, after that excellent performance, I insist upon it. So the Camalodunum coasters are going to start heading over
Besieging settlement.
for an away game in Moraduna, also known as the Future Wales. By the way, I already told you one, here's another one for you. How do you get 2 whales in a car? You start in England and you drive west. Hey? We're going to move the Imperial Bog Trotters over to Camalodunum to complete their recovery.
Duties, men.
While that's not going to be their home city, I think that they prove that Iska is really their deserving home. They will go ahead and stick over there just in case someone else wants to have a exhibition game while this is going on. And actually, since we're on the subject, we should probably at this point recruit a new support fleet of the Scoodly Poopers. We will revive the Scoodly Poopers.
A token, perhaps a modest gift of coin, would have my people see you in a new...
That's just not going to happen. And we actually have a great opportunity here because they sent what little forces they had out on a boat trip. Yeah, we do have something to worry about. We got disease running rampant. That's a small price to pay for success. Carpe diem. It was hard fought, but we did it. And not only do we get to set a tradition, we also get a boost for our new leader. We're going to go with formidable fighters for the Camalodunum coasters. And we're going to build this guy into being more of the strategic type. Got some more technology that we did take care of course. While the Camalodunum coasters recover, we can take a look at what's going back over in Camalodunum proper. Now, they're not quite ready yet for another tussle. They need another turn or 2 to make up for that.
Soldiering.
And actually, we can replace a few of these guys. Get rid of some of the lowest tier units and replace them with good units. Now, we still have this small little team of the Burning Men to worry about, but I'm not too concerned about them. Not really. Yeah, sure, what's wrong with adopting? And we got all our recruitment done. Seems like these guys don't want to just bugger off for the time being. Oh, and of course, we have to actually take care of some infrastructure concerns. Convert everything over, get all that taken care of. We could definitely use the food boost, so we're going to turn this into a nice little bread basket for us. And a trench mine, that sounds inviting. Dump a lot of money into upgrading some of these buildings, get that out of the way, and wait to see what these guys decide to do with their time. And the Imperial Bog Trotters are almost ready to tangle again. Well, come on then, what are you going to do? Oh no, we have a great fire in Camalodunum. That halves my wealth from culture. Ugh. For 2 whole turns. Well, I gotta tell you, that's mighty disappointing. Oh, and the repairs. The repairs are so expensive. Ugh. This is incredibly disappointing. Foul-mouthed? Well, I would certainly hope so, running a sports team. You know what? I think it's time the Scoodly Poopers are in their keep, so we're going to get them on the road.
Yours, you men.
See if we can head off the last remnants of the former occupants of Moradunum. Unfortunately, with that fire, we're probably going to have to hold off on a little bit. I'm just going to interpret that fire as the result of a bunch of rioters overjoyed with our victory in Wales. Alright, so we got our tech completed. That's a good thing. We're going to move right on to the next stage so we can get that increased food output. Players on the campaign trail are players with a big stomach. So we're going to move the Scoodly Poopers up here into position. Hopefully take care of these rabble-rousers just hanging out along. Sore losers. That's what these guys are. But we're also going to have to put our house in order before we finish up this campaign trail. So we got a bunch of new buildings that are going to be coming in next turn, plus an improved barracks. That will be nice. And all the fire repairs that are going to take several turns to actually take place. So let's see what happens. Looks like one of our team coaches finally passed on. Oh, we got a nice little buff from this. We got a population surplus in Britannia. That's good. Let's see if we can finish off these guys.
To battle!
And with the help of the Scoodly Poopers, the last of these guys are finally off our radar. Oh, he's got a bunch of household options too. Sweet. He's not married either. Huh. Loaded dice. Well, he's going to be sticking to the naval aspect, so what will work for you? A little bit of morale booster. Oh, there's a faction-wide boost for research rate. Yeah, let's go with that. And the Scoodly Poopers are going to head back down to Iska, because that's where we're going to need them for the time being. We can get rid of some more old equipment right here. See what our options are. Oh, now we're talking. Now we got auxiliary units. My favorite thing. And cavalry is at the top of my list of potential helpful things. The same is true of the Imperial Bog Trotters. Now, we've been dependent on heavy infantry for quite some time here, but we should definitely be willing to branch out. So let's take some of the ones that aren't super experienced, cut them down to size a little bit, and instead, we want to get them in tip-top shape for their final showdown against Ibarakan. Pretty soon we're going to be able to train the improved heavy infantry, the Principe. So for now, what we'll actually look at is getting them some special units. You can never go wrong with dogs. And of course, a couple slingers. Slingers seem like they're a good option here. And maybe a little bit of cavalry too, just to kind of round things out. And we'll get to work on a new auxiliary barracks as well, just so the whole province is on its way up. Oh, Iska is the one that has the population boost, so we can improve that. But we're out of money, so we can't really do anything just yet, but soon, we'll have even more bonuses. Oh, well this is actually a very good timing. I've got a mission to recruit a champion, which is a type of agent in the game. And they act as sort of special agents / army boosters, so this is actually perfect because I wanted to get one anyway to show you. So, we pull up the recruit agent menu. There's the spy option. We haven't actually researched anything to get a dignitary yet, but we can also get champions. So that's what we're going to do. And that was easy enough. Medalinus Modius Maester, once he's actually able to move next turn, is going to join up with the Imperial Bog Trotters as their official cheerleader. And we've got our improved barracks up as well, so that means we should be able to... Yes, we can finally recruit Principe and Triarii, the two upgraded versions of heavy infantry. Now, for those of you unfamiliar with the Old Republic system for the Roman army, Hastati were basically year one recruits. These are guys that just signed up, were given some training, and sent into battle. Principe are like the veterans. So they're just Hastati that have survived a long time. They get this little plumage here on the... And Triarii are the super veterans of the war. These are the grizzled older men, gnarled and battle-tested, and were equipped with spears. They acted as a super heavy infantry and like a final reserve in a lot of battles. And we need both of them to make this army tick. So we don't really need these light spear infantry anymore, so we're getting rid of those, because we have Triarii as an option. Or at least we would, if we had the money. Alright, maybe I overexerted, went overboard with the whole building thing. But that's alright. Next turn we'll be able to build the rest of them. Though in the meantime, the Camelodunum coasters can go ahead and, go for a training run. While we get the Imperial Bog Trotters back up to speed here. Oh, and I made a mistake because I held onto it so long. The empty space became a slum. Well, we're going to have to get rid of that, but for the meantime, I can't afford it. So, that's going to have to wait. Internal matters will have to wait, because we need to get these guys up so we can finally get to the end of this first campaign trail. I'm going to get these guys up right up to the border. And they're just going to chill out for a little bit. Setting up it's a trading camp. Yeah, they got to get ready for the next big match. Meanwhile, our good friend Macer is going to be taking over pep talks and training for the Imperial Bog Trotters. At the top of this rotation, we got, of course, our improved irrigation completed. Just one construction report. And, of course, the Triarii have been recruited. Now, we have to decide what else to sacrifice here. So, since we just recruited these auxiliary, we're not going to just get rid of them wholesale. We're going to go ahead and see if we can get rid of just a few more of these. We'll think of it as changeover of equipment. And we actually have just enough for one more, so that's what we'll get. So at the top of the next turn, I think we'll finally be ready for a final showdown to complete the tournament of the Britannia Bowl. Of course, we'll do some more technologies building. Oh yeah, let's do that. Get some wealth boost. Alright, so we got a small rank increase, recruitment, all the good stuff. Yes, yes indeed. And now our very well-arranged Imperial Bog Trotters are finally going to get on the move. And that means the Camelodunum coasters can, they're done with their training, and they can come, do a pep rally. Meanwhile, our fun little agent here is going to keep an eye on everything. Looks like we got a nice solid opponent team. So while our team's set up for the away game, let's go ahead and make sure that we've got everything squared away here as far as the infrastructure goes. Not a lot of places we can expand just yet, but you know what we can do? In addition to building up that food reserve, we can get rid of these stupid slums. Or not, because I spent all the money. And our pep rally guy apparently gets a little bit of a boost here. Oh, looks like my overbuilding has caused a food shortage, and we have disease in Iska. Ugh. The price we pay for success. And we are working on building up some more food, but in the meantime, we can't be worried about that. We gotta worry about what's in front of us. And here, ladies and gentlemen, we're coming to what we hope to be the conclusion. The final epic battle in the Britannia Bowl League. So, of course, we have to go through the formality of letting them know we're coming.
We take this settlement for Rome!
Here we go. Here we go. And it was a close one. They fought valiantly, but they were no match for the Imperial Bog Trotters.
Commander?
And they are gone. Gone, gone, gone. And you'll notice that means we now have full control of the province of Britannia. We are the Britannia Bowl victors. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, that will conclude this installment of Rome 2 Total War Roman Britannia Run. Next episode, we'll have some exciting ideas about where to go next, because my leader has been having some strange dreams lately. Things that are taking him towards the future. You'll see what I mean next video.